Good morning, everybody. Today's the day. It's 4:20 a.m. on August 28th. Today's the day we go to Michigan. Well, it's just about noon on Thursday, August 28th. And I'm on my way up to do some last minute preparations up at church, more or less because I had this thing about I don't mind helping out and I can't sleep all day because sleeping all day is a bad thing. So we'll just go up there and see what happens. Okay, so a few minutes at church turned into a couple hours. But that's generally how my life at church goes. So now we're on our way. Well, no one's there yet. On my way to get Carl. His church is actually giving us a gas card, if I'm not mistaken. So I have to get him so that he can get to his church to get the gas card. Because every little drop of gas helps, especially when I'm used to running my car on empty, so we'll see how this goes. We're also going to, I'm going to track my mileage to Michigan, so hopefully, I don't know, we'll see what happens. Or as it happens, I guess. Maybe, maybe not. Guess who's in the car now? Well, we're on our way. About to be, at least. It's 22:02. We're due to arrive in Sturgis at 6:09 a.m. as of current, and 498 miles to go. Yay! So we've got that. I just changed my oil today, so we'll see.
water sprinkler.
Because, you know, phone call.
About maybe 10 years ago. The car was traveling down the road and the sprinkler was going over the road.
Much like that one right there would if it was turned on right this second, I'm sure.
Actually, it's faced towards that way.
Yeah, whatever.
It's faced towards the, either way. The sprinkler went over the road. It hit the windshield of a car. Busted the windshield, and I'm not sure if the guy died, but he sued, the family sued the,
Yeah. What? Go. I'm on my way.
Please come up to the lobby.
Yeah? What's up?
I would suggest you have your camera open. We have two people that just got off the car in the door in the house.
Cool. Alright. Downstairs, in the room below this, in robotics, are boxes of cables. One of them is going to be XLR related. See if you can find it, please. It'll be in a red tote. As you go down the stairs, the lights are immediately on your right on the wall. Hi.
Hello, Chris.
Welcome to the Geek Group.
How are you?
Pleasure. You are?
Dorfner.
Who?
Billy Dorfner.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
Kick ass. Welcome to the Geek Group. You guys picked a hell of a day to show up. That's where it would plug in, and there's no power cord to this. It's just the empty plasma sphere sitting. So to set that over here, I'm going to plug this.
A coupon in the back, QR code, so that you can get a 40%
Now, this is where it gets cool. All the sound you're hearing is coming from that, from the lightning itself. And there's so much energy there that if you take this, it's about 30,000 volts in there. And the plasma sphere I mentioned, What? No, it's okay. We like it when you ask questions. That's why I'm here. Turns out, radical concept, asking questions is actually how we learn stuff. It's kind of cool. Boden. I am a high voltage, high energy physicist. This means if you see me running, try very hard to catch up. It also means that they pay me to make explosions for a living. So, this is Project Kicker. It is one of my favorite toys. It is an impulse generator. Think of electricity like water in a pipe. Volts is the pressure of the water. Volts is a measurement of potential difference. Amperage, or current, is the same as measuring the current in a river. It's gallons per minute past a certain point, or how big around your pipe is. When you multiply volts by amps, you get watts, which is how much you can do with it. Now, I like doing this every now and then. How many people here have ever heard the term watt before? Like speakers, light bulbs? How many people know what it comes from? All right. You have failed me. Who else? Go. No, you work for me. He's one of our photographers. The Watt is named after, very correct, James Watt. Now, what did James Watt do? See, this is the part where people start to fall off. Most people would tell you he invented the steam engine, but he didn't. That was actually the steam engine that most people know was invented by a guy named Newcomen, who invented one based on another guy. It goes all the way back through like 10 different engines to Arrow, who was a Greek guy, who basically had a really angry tea kettle that spun around. Watt is the unit of power. Volts times amps equals watts in a simple DC circuit like this. Now, a AA battery, which everybody knows and loves, makes 1.5 volts at about 1 amp, so you get about 1.5 watts out of it. A car battery does 12 volts at a couple hundred amps. A wall socket, like a regular receptacle in your house, does 120 volts at usually a maximum of 15 amps. Some of the big ones will go to 20. So let's say you've got a 20 amp. 120 volts times 20 amps gives you 2,400 watts. This is how you know the guy on Craigslist trying to sell you the 5,000 watt home stereo is lying to you. There's only 2,400 watts in the wall. Your whole house runs on 240 volts at maybe 100 amps or so. When this goes off, it will discharge 1,800 volts at 40,000 amps. That's 70 million watts. What are you doing? Okay, are you cool? Huh? You dumped it?
I don't know. I didn't change it.
Hang on. Take a step back. Take a step back. Quickly. Go to fire. Do you have fire mode?
Yeah.
Is it in fire mode? Like dump the fire?
Yeah, man, fire.
Clear it. Or kick. Ready to fire.
Ready to fire.
3, 2. That was anemic as that.
It was at it dropped down to 600.
Alright, is that 600 volts now?
No.
What's that
That's
now?
right, fire now.
Okay, what's that now?
That's like what? Up like oil.
Ready to flare?
Things go wrong.
That's what you learn the most of. Alright.
Things went right the first time everything went on TV, but I tried I spent 3 weeks on one shift. From the top.
You were talking too long. It started to drop.
Let's drop a little. It's okay. Take it up to 18. Let me know when you're there. All right? All right. Are there any questions at this point? This is one of the joys of doing high voltage research in front of a live audience. High voltage is kind of a pass-fail thing, but in our world, it's more like a NASA flowchart where everything works perfectly, or everybody dies. And there's really no middle ground to that at all, which kind of sucks. So when you're playing with 70 million watts, you want it to go very, very, very well, and if it doesn't, you want it to safe out and dump all the energy. That's what it is. When this goes off, we're going to need a volunteer to push the big red button of science. Who's up? Come here. Now, here's how this works. You have one job. Press the button and don't look at your foot. Okay. We'll do a countdown, like 3, 2, 1, go. On 1, you step on the button. Okay. Hold it down. It might take a second. Okay. Because that has to physically move into position in their safety system. Okay. Don't go until we get there.
All right, 1800.
All right, you ready? Arm it. All right, you're going to want to turn around. You want to see up there. That's all the action happens. When he presses the button, we will discharge 1,800 volts from these capacitors through this. This is where you want to look. Okay, all the fun happens there. Arm, and 3, 2, 1, go! And the neighbors love me.
Nice.
Any questions? Anybody who wants a souvenir, you can pick up any little piece.
You want to do another? Chris.
Now, since we screwed up the first time, you want to try it again? Load it. Any questions? I need another volunteer for the next time. It must be a girl. All right, you've been voluntold. Come here. Come here. You've been voluntold. You can do it. It doesn't hurt. I promise you'll probably live through this. All right, we need a different girl. You. Mission. Not you. The cute girl 3 people behind you. Hi. I'm Chris Boden. How are you doing? Come here. You've been voluntold. What's your name? Grace. Grace? I'm Chris. This is really easy. You're going to step on the button. That's it. That's all. I swear to God, that's all you got to do. You step on the button. That's it. Okay. Oh, you can't do it like that. You got to, step on it. For real. Okay, you're with me. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Grace. Now, put this hand in the middle. You can do that. That's the push. You're going to sign. You're going to do signs for all these people. Okay? You're going to charge this up. That's the impulse generator. Huh? 30,000? All right.
It's a 2,000.
Yeah. It's a logarithmic paper.
Who would have thought? Science.
The engineer gets it. He's with us. We got an electrical engineer over there. Yeah. Yup. Where are we at? 15. Okay. We're going to 1,800 volts. This, by the way, is very representational to most science and engineering. There's lots and lots and lots of waiting and then a few seconds of absolute terror. That's pretty much what we do.
1,800.
All right, you ready?
Fire.
Arm the system, ready to fire.
Arm.
Okay, you're gonna hear 3, 2, 1, and then you step on the button. Okay, and don't just tap it, but let you step on it. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, go! And the neighbors love us. Anytime you have a switch that welds itself shut on a regular basis, you're a good day. Any questions? This, by the way, is called a Jesus stick. If you don't use it, you get to meet Jesus. What? The tinfoil doesn't actually explode. The tinfoil is melting so fast that it doesn't have time to melt. It goes directly from a solid to a gas. Does anybody know the word for that? Sublimation. That's what it's doing. Most of the tinfoil is actually turning into a bad smell. So a few little pieces from the ends don't go, they just conduct. So you see that get caught up. And then people tend to pick them up and take them home. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Press play on tape. Pressing play. Now see how this is there? Not one hit. Really, you're giving me Jesus Christ Superstar. You have the entire world of music at your fingertips. And you're going to put that song in my head for the rest of the day. I'm a nerd! I did musical theater, and now I'm going to have songs. You are the Christ Lord. I'm going to have that in my head all day.
That sounded really like Mario.
You got that on video.
Yep. You got Gibroni behind you too.
let me get this right. You drove out from New York expecting it to be a normal weekend, you know, Saturday tour type things, and I said yes, and instead you got thrown into helping us at the Maker Faire. And after hearing Paul explain how the fuser demo works twice, because that literally is about how many times I heard it. I'd seen the videos, but high voltage really doesn't make me go woo as much as it probably should. After this weekend, yeah, I've gone woo because it's kind of fun. But after hearing his explanation of it only twice, I was able to repeat that throughout the day verbatim. I heard the explanation for the musical Tesla coil a couple times, and I'm able to repeat that verbatim. So Chris turned around to me and said the board had voted, and I was brought up to G3, which for the Geek Group there's 6 different levels. G0 is an inactive member. G1 is a probationary member. G2 is normal members, where you can get the kit online for the card, and you know, normal paying members, which I have been, but I haven't been able to pay for a while because I've been saving up to come in person. G3 is an elite geek, which basically means you did something really awesome, and the board of directors has to vote you to be G3. G4 is staff, which you can get remotely, but I don't do anything that awesome that I know of. And then G5 is on the board of directors. So to be brought from a G2 to a G3 is something very amazing for me. To tell you the truth, I had a lot of fun Sunday night. I sat at the table with the guys and watched them play Cards Against Humanity, which makes me really question my faith in humans a lot. I guess it's basically a very mean and dirty version of apples to apples. So that was fun. And I had a nice long conversation with someone at the Geek Group, you know, about what it's like to basically drop everything and move out there. And I have to say, after doing this for this weekend, I honestly want to move out there. Even though it means dropping my life and everything I know, leaving my current friends and family back in New York and moving, I think it would be beneficial to me and very fun. The Geek Group at this point is still technically very small. Even though, and I know I'm going to get crap for this because the numbers have changed, but there's members in over 200 countries, and there's over 20,000 members. Yes, in that scale, with people touched, yes, it's a very large company, but in the terms of what they're doing, you can always go bigger, go home. So I am very excited to be able to have done this. I'm very happy. This was a very good Labor Day weekend. I cannot wait until the next time I can get out here. And I'm kind of hoping that maybe, just maybe, I can save up enough this year to possibly move out here. Out there. We're in Ohio right now. Why would I want to live in Ohio? Sorry to anyone in Ohio watching this. It's just walking in the building. I did not have my camera going. I didn't record anything in the building, unfortunately. But walking into the Geek Group, all I could do, and you know, Liz can attest to this. I walked in and all I could say was, wow, it's a lot bigger in person. The people on camera, some of them are a lot bigger in person. I mean, I'm used to Chris holding the camera